Alright guys, to start this lesson, I'm actually going to start from the example that they have in the book. Okay, 11.3, 7.3, where you're talking about the area of a trapezoid. Okay, there are two different ways to do this. I wanted to bring up the way the book does it first. What the book does is it cuts the trapezoid itself. It cuts the trapezoid into two triangles and a rectangle. So by doing that, you can see what they've done over here. So you would have to find the area of this triangle. You would have to find the area of this triangle, and you would have to find the area of this rectangle on the inside. So you can see that over here, and that's what they're showing you. So there's no hard set formula according to the book. Now here in a minute, I'm going to show you a formula that will work for trapezoids. And it's actually on your reference sheet for the FSA. It's one of the things I disagree with the book on when it comes to this. Now, can you break a trapezoid into two triangles and a rectangle, find the area of each one, and then add them all together and get the area of the trapezoid? Yes, you can. But guys, there is an easier way. All right. So think about lesson 1 and 2. Lesson 1 was how do we find the area of this rectangle? So if I was looking for the area of this rectangle, I have 6 inches from here to here. Right? So I have 6 inches from here to here, and then I have a 5-inch height. So my base is 6 for this rectangle, only the rectangle. The height, the perpendicular line that connects the bottom to the top, is 5 inches. So 6 times 5, that means the area of this rectangle is 30 inches squared. Now, let's look at this one triangle here. And they have it set up. You can see it right here. Okay? So, base, which would be 4 inches from this line to the end. So our base of this triangle would be 4. Our height would be 5. So, our formula, 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 divided by 2 would give me 10 inches squared. Now, we're still not done. We have to go and figure out the other triangle. So you have a base of 2 inches and a height of 5 inches. So you're going to have to find the area. So we would put that, once again, into the 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. 2 times 5 divided by 2. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5, which gives us right here 5 inches squared. Then, after you've done all that, so you've worked 3 different equations and found the area for 3 different shapes, then you have to add them all together, which we see here. 10 plus 30 plus 5 is 45. Now, if this method works for you, that is fantastic. Use it. But if you're sitting there going, Mr. Hearn, isn't there just a formula that you can give us that we can do this and we'll get the right answer? Yes, there is. So I want you to, I'm going to move over to whiteboard right now, and I'm going to try to recreate this trapezoid. So let's see if I can do that. So we were here, we were here, we were here. They were telling us that the entire length here was 12. Then you had lines coming down for our height. I believe on the drawing they give you this, and you can look in your book at this drawing too. If you're watching the video, you're like, "Ooh, let me get the book out." Okay, this was example 1, I believe, in the book, and this is a base. I'm sorry, this is a height as well. It's a perpendicular line. So then they tell us this. They told us that the base here. So this was 6. This was 2 for this triangle, and then this was 4 for this triangle that they made. And then our height for both was 5, right? And then we had this rectangle in here. So that means our top up here would be 6 as well, right? Because that's a parallelogram. So that would be our measurements for each one. And then obviously they have it in inches, guys, but it'll look crazy if I do that. So they told you we find out the area of this triangle, this rectangle, and add it all up. So that means you're going to have to use both formulas that we learned, which were, I've already got blue up, so I'm going to draw two of them because I'm going to put both formulas over here. So, and then we had our heights, so base times height, and then equals, and remember for a triangle, this would all be over 2. So, area, right? So now they're telling us that, base times height, we're going to have to use these two formulas to solve for one triangle. So let me mark that on here. So they want you to find the area of this triangle, this rectangle, and this triangle. Okay? And guys, you can use both these formulas, put all that information in there, and that will get you the answer. I am not arguing with that. If you're looking at that and you're like, that makes sense, Mr. Hearn, that's what I'm going to do. By all means, please do that. Okay? If that method works for you, please use that method. Now, I do not know why the book doesn't give you this formula, but I am going to give you another formula. Okay? I guess I messed my drawing up. It should go there right here. Let's see if it erases. Well, of course, I erased the whole thing. Let's try this again, Mr. Hearn. Alright, so here to here. All the way over here. I am getting better, right? I hope so. Alright, so let's look at this. So look at this entire base here. Okay? Remember, this trapezoid, this could be the base. If I turn this trapezoid, if I took it and turned it this way, this could be the base as well, right? And then that would really make the triangles fun. You'd have to use this, and it'd be real fun like that if the trapezoid was upside down. And what I mean by that, so I mean this would be the base and this would be the top. The 12 would be the top and the 6 would be the bottom. So there is a formula. Okay? And I know I keep talking about it. You guys are like, oh, you gonna give us a formula? Okay? It does revolve around multiplying base times height, but what you have to do is you have to realize that because this shape can be turned upside down, you actually have two bases. Alright, now normally in this formula, then I would multiply by height, right? Then that would give me area. But there seems like there's something else that we're probably going to have to do. And you guys are probably thinking of it right now, and I hope you are. We're going to have to divide the base times height multiplied by 2. Okay, so we can divide this whole thing by 2. Or we can multiply, because parentheses are going to have our order of operations here first anyway. So you're going to work inside the parentheses anyway. So the sum of both bases times height divided by 2. Or you will also see it written like this. 1/2. And then I'm going to do my blue, since I got my blue marker up right now. Y'all stay with me. B1 plus B2. I am getting a little better, I think. I don't know, you guys are probably laughing at me. Alright, so you can also write it this way. and this will give you the area of a trapezoid. Now, on your reference sheet for the FSA, this formula is actually on there. Gunner actually asked me about this before the break. If you guys remember, I was showing you guys the the reference sheet and the formulas and talking about what we're going to do after spring break. And Gunner had seen this and had asked me about what's B1 and B2, and he was trying to figure out what it meant. Now, does it work the same? So let's put this information. All right, let's put this information into it. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say this is a. Ooh, that's not good. Hang on. This is for parallelograms. This is for triangles. This big dog up here is for trapezoids. Alright, I'm actually going to erase this one so I got a little place to work because I'm going to show y'all something. Alright, so let's put our information in. So the question becomes, Mr. Herman, which one's B1 and B2? Well, this is B1 and this is B2. So now, where's my height? My height is 5. So now I can solve. So bring all your information over, put it in a formula. By the way, if we were in class, I haven't been really a stickler on this, but I am. If we were in class, I would be. You guys are not putting these in the formula. So that bugs me. Because on some of the harder stuff, how are you going to figure out where your mistakes were? I implore you to try to put it into the formula. See, height was 5. And then we're going to divide the whole thing by 2. And that will give us our area. So if I do the steps, go follow order of operations, right? So 12 plus 6, that's going to give me 18, and 18 times 5. So I'm going to stay right here. So we have 18. Ugh. Alright, maybe I ain't getting good with this. 18 times 5 divided by 2. Alright. 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 8 is 40. That gives me 90. So that would give me 90 over 2. So follow along with me here because I'm running out of space. So that would give me 90 divided by 2. And then 90 divided by 2. 90 divided by 2 would give me an area of 45. Now let's go back and look at the book, what the book gave us. So by using this formula, putting that information, not worrying about the distraction here, pulling one height, now I can go back, work this instead of doing 3 different areas. One formula, one work, gives me 45, and the book's example had 45 inches squared. So there you go, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm fairly certain it's going to be a little tricky. The kite stuff, yeah, don't worry about the kite stuff. The kite is just, you guys can look at it. You can divide it into true triangles. Do not have a formula for that one. Alright guys, if you got any questions, make sure you send them to me. Hopefully you watch the video before you actually try to attempt these.